Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your Lunar Cycle Insight video for Eclipse season, which will begin with the new moon partial solar eclipse in Cancer on the 12th, 13th of July, and will culminate with the new moon solar eclipse in Leo on the 11th of August. So this is a profoundly transformative time. It's the two most accelerated periods of the month in terms of soul evolution and growth. So this video is designed to talk you through those energies, Scorpio, to see where they are moving and flowing and creating change in your chart so that you can work with them to catalyze your own soul growth and forward movement. So we begin the month with the Cancer new moon solar eclipse in your 9th house, sitting opposite Pluto in the 3rd house, where Saturn is also transiting at this time. And this is often referred to, Scorpio, as the axis of teaching and learning. So this eclipse can really highlight for you the wisdom that your soul holds. It can illuminate your hunger for new knowledge, for spiritual connection. It can help you to realign your vision with your heart. Sagittarius is the celestial archer that fires the arrows of truth. Cancer is the great mother. So this is time to ask yourself if those visions that you are holding really nourish and nurture your soul. If not, perhaps there is a new truth incoming that you need to realign yourself with. The opposition from Pluto in the 3rd house can highlight any fears that you might have around speaking your visions, speaking your truth. This is the energy of the throat chakra. So perhaps with the energy of Cancer also very highlighted at this time, this can be a moment where you may need to speak your truth to those people that you love most, to your family, to your tribe. So this can be a time of deep emotional connection, particularly as this energy is flowing in a fellow water sign. You know, you and Cancer, you feel so deeply, yet you are also very protective of your emotions, Scorpio. So this can be a time where you have to let your guard down, where you have to vulnerably share. Perhaps there's something that you're wanting to say or share with the rest of the world that you're still feeling some fear around. Perhaps there is some truth that you're holding that you feel might be catalytic, so you're suppressing it and holding on to it. This is the time to let it go, to free up that energy so that it can move freely and your emotions can flow without stagnancy. As the new moon energies rise, a grand water trine also forms in the heavens with Jupiter, who has gestation direct in your sign, with Neptune and Pisces in your 5th house, and the new moon in Cancer that we just discussed in your 9th house. So this opens a portal of manifestation. There is a Merkaba forming in the heavens around the time of this new moon, with an earth trine that's forming as well in your houses of connection. Your 3rd house, Saturn in Capricorn, your 7th house, Uranus in Taurus, and Virgo in Venus in Virgo in your 11th house. So there is potential for new opportunities, new connections, new people to also come into your life that will support your visions and support your creative processes. And as Jupiter, the celestial giant, does turn direct in your sign after this long retrograde period. Sorry, slight interruption there from my son. I don't know whether you could hear him in the background. So as Jupiter stations direct in your sign, all of the work that you've been doing since March, all of the inner work you've been doing, reassessing your own identity, reassessing how you would like yourself to be perceived by the rest of the world, all of the healing you've been doing around taking off the masks, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to be seen, can start to come to fruition. So you may find that you also have some expansive moments, some blessings that are interweaved with the transformation that can happen during eclipse seasons. So on the 22nd of July, the sun moves into your 10th house. This is the highest point of the birth chart. This is the area of career, of reputation, how we are perceived and perceived in our professional life, in a professional capacity. So this oftentimes is a point in the year where you can receive more recognition, you feel more comfortable with sharing your gifts and talents, you feel more confident in what you're offering. But this year is slightly different, as we also have Mercury stationing retrograde in the 10th house in Leo on the 26th of August, and he's going to be journeying backwards in the underworld until the 19th of August. So this can be a time when you're really reassessing your vocation, reassessing your purpose. Leo is the sign of authenticity, the sign of heart-centered creativity. Where Leo is, we simply shine, we simply share our heart, our creations, our gift with the world, just for the joy of doing it. We're not seeking approval, we're not seeking appreciation from anybody when we're doing healthy Leo. So this can be a cosmic moment of ensuring that that is what is happening in your life, Scorpio. Does your career, does the vision, the goal that you're aiming to accomplish, allow yourself that freedom of expression? Because when we are just being ourselves, when we're just shining and sharing our individual authentic nature, we naturally inspire others to do the same, to rise up, and it gives them the opportunity to say, okay, she or he is expressing who he is, that makes me comfortable enough to express who I am. So it's time to perhaps make some changes if that isn't what is happening in your life at this time. Maybe you will decide to create more time and space in your life to cultivate creativity, to cultivate your unique and individual gifts. So we may find some delays, some changes, some frustrations happening with our work life around this time. Perhaps there are still some things that need to be reworked before you can fully take off your mask and show the world who you are, Scorpio. So the big eclipse of this lunar cycle is the Aquarius lunar eclipse, the biggest eclipse that we've had in a decade, the biggest lunar eclipse we've had in a decade, the blood moon that will be conjunct Mars, the warrior, conjunct the south node. And for you, Scorpio, this lunar eclipse is going to reach culmination in your 4th house. This is the womb space of the birth chart. This is the roots, the foundation, the inner sanctuary, the temple, the home space. So this is a very sensitive and emotional space. You know, this is the space where we need to feel nurtured, we need to feel safe, we need to feel secure. So this eclipse energy highlights what we may have already been experiencing with Mars retrograde here since last month. It can bring insight and clearing and clarity around issues of genetic karma, around how we relate to those in our family or in our tribe. It can bring old anger, buried pain up to the surface from our childhood, from how we received or not received the love and nourishment we needed growing up. And it's also creating a square to Uranus in our 7th house. So this can be a time when we can really clearly see how the patterns of childhood play out with our relationships in the now. It can be a time of revelation, of liberation, of letting go of those tribal connections, those romantic partnerships, and even friendships that are no longer serving us. Perhaps we need to let go of the old before we can call in those souls that really are aligning with that authentic vision, that authentic version of ourselves that we're cultivating up in the 10th house, Scorpio. So for all of us, you know, this eclipse will sweep the slate clean on many levels, but for you it's very focused on the things that make you feel loved, the things that and the people that make you feel safe and secure. So this is a time when you might feel your foundations are rocked as you work with both the 10th and the 4th house and the 7th house, and also the 1st house, as you know, Mercury is creating squares to Jupiter there throughout his retrograde journey. So these spaces of the birth chart are the core things that we require as human beings, you know, a family, a tribe, a home, connections with other souls, a vocation, a purpose, and the ability to express ourselves as an individual soul. So all of these areas being challenged this month can make you feel a little bit like you are perhaps spinning around in a washing machine of emotion, feeling a little bit uncertain, a little bit steady, looking for something solid to cling to. So it's important that you allow yourself, Scorpio, to do what you do best, to die to the old self, to enter the void, and to allow yourself to be reborn, to be rebirthed. So you are the master alchemist, and this is time for you to put those abilities into practice, to be unafraid to face what is hidden below the subconscious, hidden in that 4th house, hidden in our ancestry, hidden in our genetic lineage, and be willing to transmute it. And as you clear these things, you also clear them for future generations. You know, the work we do healing ourselves can heal our entire family line, and this month gives you an opportunity to see that and to participate in it, Scorpio. So it's a beautiful opportunity. On the 6th of August, Venus shifts signs and she moves into your 12th house. She moves into the hidden house of the zodiac. So this is a time where you may feel the need to draw within, to just cocoon yourself in love, to hold yourself as you go through this transformational process. This is a time where you may be more open to receive dreams and visions and insights from the cosmos, or perhaps some healing will come through another person. Libra is the sign of the other, so it's a time where you might need to open yourself up to receive some support, some love to help you through this period. On the 11th of August, the new moon, the solar eclipse in Leo, the final eclipse of this cycle, will take place again in that 10th house. So all of the clearing work you've been doing, all of the balancing you've been doing between your home and work and family, life, relationships, you'll need to express yourself. All of the clearing that you've done has created an open space where you can now imprint your intentions. This is a time when you can decide how you're going to shine into the world, how you're going to share those unique gifts and talents. This is a time for being really clear and specific about how you want to manifest your vocation, how you want to manifest your creativity, how you are, this is a time for knowing what you wish to accomplish and writing and speaking those words out to the universe so that they can then come into manifestation as the wheel of the year turns. And I've picked a card for you, Scorpio, from the Isis Oracle deck, and this is Ancient Power Mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. And this is a card that actually pertains to sound healing and the throat chakra, which is really interesting because that is what's going to be highlighted at the beginning of this month for you. And of course, the throat is where we do most of our authentic self-expression. So this is an amplification of the message that we've already received for you, but it can also be calling you to be aware of the power of sound, of the power of your voice. And going through eclipse cycles, one of the most powerful things we can do is actually to listen and repeat mantras. And this is because mantras create an atmosphere, an energy of clear vibration, and it can help stop us from spinning into negativity, from spinning into fear as we go through the eclipse portal. So perhaps for you, Scorpio, as well as being a message to use your voice, this could be a message to work with mantra, to work with sound. Whenever you start to feel yourself getting upset or worried or anxious, perhaps you can put your mantras on. You can do 10 minutes of chanting, of breathing, to realign yourself, to cleanse your energy, to come back to center. One of the most popular ones that's used during eclipse season actually is Om Namah Shivaya, or you might like to use a mantra to Kali, who is also the divine feminine essence that is very present during eclipse cycles. So I hope that you have found this information useful, Scorpio. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I am wishing you a beautiful and transformative and healing eclipse cycle. If you wish to connect with me further, there are some links below this video. So much love.